This is the Electronic Transfer Levy Repeal Bill. That's the famous E-Levy bill. I'll proceed to sign it. Okay, I've just given assent to the repeal of the famous E-Levy bill. Now, this is the Income Tax Amendment Bill 2025 to remove withholding tax on winnings from lottery, betting, and games of chance. This is the famous betting tax repeal bill. And so I'll assent to it, 2nd April 2025. So betting tax is gone. Now, this is the Emissions Tax Repeal Bill. So, Emissions Levy Repeal Act 2025, Emissions Levy is gone. This is the Earmark Funds Capping and Realignment Bill. This is the bill that caps the GET Fund and National Health Insurance Levy and moves those resources into the Consolidated Fund. We promise that we'll take the capping off, we'll uncap them. And so this bill uncaps the GET Fund and the National Health Insurance Levy. So the Earmark Funds Capping and Realignment Amendment Bill has been assented to. So it means GET Fund and NHIL will receive the full amount of their levies. Promises delivered.
The President said his administration is people-driven and will fulfill all promises made in the interest of Ghanaians.
This is the Electronic Transfer Levy Repeal Bill. That's the famous E-Levy bill. I'll proceed to sign it. Okay, I've just given assent to the repeal of the famous E-Levy bill. Now, this is the Income Tax Amendment Bill 2025 to remove withholding tax on winnings from lottery, betting, and games of chance. This is the famous betting tax repeal bill. And so I'll assent to it, 2nd April 2025. So betting tax is gone. Now, this is the Emissions Tax Repeal Bill. So, Emissions Levy Repeal Act 2025, Emissions Levy is gone. This is the Earmark Funds Capping and Realignment Bill. This is the bill that caps the GET Fund and National Health Insurance Levy and moves those resources into the consolidated fund. We promise that we'll take the capping off, we won't cap them. And so this bill uncaps the GET fund and the National Health Insurance Levy. So the earmark funds capping and realignment amendment bill has been assented to. So it means GET Fund and NHIL will receive the full amount of their levies. Promises delivered.
And also follow. So that's a tweet from the handle of the finance minister, and it says it is finished. E-Levy, betting tax, and emission tax. So these are the three key taxes that have been completely abolished. Now we know that the other ones, per what we've received from the office of the president, some of those taxes have been amended. So we'll get full details subsequently, and also on our website 3news.com. Into what a president assents to a bill, what does that mean? Now there are those that start from a specific date. So it says per the law, some laws include a provision stating when the law will take effect, such as a particular day. So example, it should be captured in that law that this law takes effect from January 1, then the year comes. So that is when a specific law takes effect from a specific date. There is also after a waiting period, where if the law does not specify any effective date, many countries have default waiting periods. So for example, in Ghana, it says a law typically takes effect after it is published in the government gazette. And that brings us to what the president has done today. So what does it mean now that the president has assented to all these taxes that have been debated in Parliament and approved? So it simply means that now that the president has assented, it means that it has to be published and gazetted, which simply means it has to be in some form of publication where the entire public can have access to. That is when it's gazetted. So for instance, it could be in the national daily, like the Graphic or the Ghanaian Times, which is seen as the most reliable outfit or outlet for government communication. So if it gets into that publication, it means that it's fully in swing. So I'll put that on your screen as well, which is captured in Article 106 Clause 11. Specifically says, without prejudice to the power of Parliament to postpone the operation of a law, a bill shall not become law until it has been duly passed and assented to in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution, and shall not come into full force unless it has been published in the Gazette. So the last line there, unless it has been published in the Gazette, that is what I explained earlier, which has to do with that it should be in a publication that the entire public or the general public can have access to and say that yes, it is evidenced that this is now law. So does the assent the president has given today take effect? Meaning that today if you send Momo to someone, would the deduction still take place? That's the question on the minds of many. We'll try and get answers for you regarding this particular development.
Restructure the gold market. Parliament passed the Gold Board Bill before its recess on Saturday, March 29. But what exactly is the Gold Board, and what is to be expected from the board? Evelyn Tingma has on the following report.
Just like the Ghana Cocoa Board that deals with cocoa and cocoa-related issues, the Ghana Gold Board is expected to deal with issues related to gold. Ghana is currently the leading exporter of gold in Africa, but we are told the country does not derive optimal benefits from the gold resources. In 2024, for instance, the total value of gold exports from Ghana was approximately $11.5 billion. The small-scale mining sector contributed $4.6 billion, representing 40%, and the large-scale mining sector accounted for $6.9 billion, representing 60%. Despite the critical role of the gold sector in the economy, we are told it is uncoordinated and largely informal, resulting in significant losses of potential revenue. Government has therefore decided to establish a gold board to oversee, monitor and undertake the purchase, trade and export of gold and other precious minerals. Some minority members in Parliament have cast doubt over the operations of the board and impact it would have.
Combined commercial rule with regulatory rule is no longer best practice. I think that if we don't take care, we will lose the checks and balances required between regulation and commerce. What you are hoping to do is to attract $250 million every week to buy gold, but to give that $250 million every week to the central bank, and for the central bank to give cedis for the purchase of gold. There's a question. Does this economy have the capacity to mint the cedi equivalent of $250 million every week without contributing to inflation? The fact that it is focusing on small-scale mining, if care is not taken, we may end up promoting galamsey. Are we creating another bureaucracy? Couldn't we have conceptualized this and given it to the private sector to still achieve the same purpose? Those who are going to benefit from this, if they don't pay back, what would the state do?
The local gold market industry remains largely unstructured, with multiple state agencies such as the Bank of Ghana, the Minerals Income Investment Fund, and the Precious Minerals Marketing Company competing with private players, which should not be the case. The Gold Board will replace the existing Precious Minerals Marketing Company with an expanded mandate.